I got ice cream. Oh, what a painful, painful match. Am I even live? I guess. Huh. This is gonna be a painful match. Bombot down. What happened to my sensitivity? Just because I disconnected once, what happened? There you go, I guess. Yeah, I know, medic. All right.
Working class locals from the city, and in some
I'm putting that in the background.
Generational family homes and into surrounding areas, resulting in tension, veiled retaliation, and a general civil unrest. Regarding the Shanghai tunnels themselves, these passages were utilized from the mid-19th century through the 1940s for a variety of, less than legal activities. Below the very surface of Oregon's largest city, illicit actions, illegal gambling, prostitution, and during Prohibition, alcohol service were all but common. Oh, and notably, Shanghaiing was an act in which unsuspecting victims were either drugged or rendered
It's so nice
unconscious
playing
by the weight of
engineer.
alcohol, sometimes
I
in
just
connected
stand here and I
circus
win.
establishments before they were taken to the tunnels, robbed, and either murdered, floated down the Willamette, or smuggled aboard ships and forced to either work for free or starve to death. Not surprisingly, this dark dimence is recognized as one of Portland's most haunted locations, and those who have braved the tunnels report a range of otherworldly occurrences, including phantom tobacco smoke, extreme cold patches, and disembodied footsteps and voices. One of the most commonly reported entities within the tunnel is that of a former Chinese worker that locals have since dubbed Sam. Surprisingly, many tour groups have collectively witnessed Sam silently and eerily rushing past them before disappearing into the darkness, and his ghost seems to have a habit of moving objects around or even turning lights off in particular areas, leaving all present in total darkness. Also reported through the tunnels are phantom strains of old-timey music, often accompanied by the sounds of a party, orbs of light visible to the naked eye, and disturbing knocking and scratching sounds, which some claim are the spirits of those Shanghaied stuck forever trying to escape their morbid fates. Lastly, another famous apparition experienced in the tunnels is that of Nina, who's believed to be the lingering spirit of a former working girl. Nina has been known to tap the shoulders or tug on the clothing of visitors passing through, and often materializes in the darkness, just barely visible as she observes the living world at a distance.
Yeah!
And
like
on to
Sam
number 4,
site.
which has us flying over the cuckoo's nest at the
Hey, I'm
Oregon
live!
State Hospital.
Thanks,
the
Stream
Oregon State
Elements.
Hospital, which is located in the capital city of Salem, Oregon, is a public psychiatric hospital recognized as the oldest psych facility
I guess there wasn't much to worry
one of
about.
the oldest across the entirety of the West Coast, and for its ties to some truly disturbing ghost stories and local legends. Historically, the Oregon State Hospital would hold its early roots in Portland as the Oregon Hospital for the Insane, which was constructed in 1862 and was placed in the Hawthorne district. Eventually, however, the Oregon Constitution would mandate that all state hospitals be constructed in the capital city of Salem.
The spies!
And on May 1st, 1881, groundbreaking for our current site would commence, with construction completed by 1883, and the institution opening its doors on May 1st of the same year. Notably, this new asylum would adopt the Kirkbride plan and would cost a total of $184,000, which is actually the equivalent of $5,778,914 as of 2022. By 1981, this hospital boasted 478 male and 212 female patients.
Oh, I thought they didn't see the $3.
Resulting in the addition of 2 separate new wings, and in the conversion from gas to electric lighting. In 1892, an infirmary was completed. In 1896, the most commonly documented causes of insanity were epilepsy, intemperance, religious paranoia, and masturbation. And by 1900,
What?
the campus would undergo additional expansions, which included 2 women's wards and 4 men's wards. Notably, a series of underground tunnels were also added to the campus, allowing for more controlled transit of patients while accommodating a narrow-gauge railroad. In 1913, the site was officially renamed the Oregon State Hospital, and over the following years, the population would absolutely boom, resulting in overcrowding, underfunding, and negligent treatment of its patients, including a November 18, 1942 incident in which a mass poisoning occurred.
Let me see
when
if I can get
scrambled eggs
something.
mistakenly prepared with sodium fluoride instead of powdered milk made 467 patients seriously ill and outright killed 47. In lieu of a strong public outcry, the hospital would begin taking steps to modernize and efficientize its patient care. In 1955, a 676-bed building for geriatric patients was added. In 1966, the hospital would add the Salem Rehabilitation Center to aid in patient work programs. And in
Hey, what's up?
1975,
How's it going, Jesus?
Superintendent
How you
Dr.
doing?
Brooks would welcome the production team of the Milos Forman film One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest to shoot on site. In 1981
go.
and 83,
Slightly
the
clean
hospital
now.
would officially abolish lobotomies and eugenics. Through the rest of the 80s and into the 90s, it would once again begin to experience overcrowding and patient care issues. And through the early 2000s,
Sniper's a
a series of
goner.
investigative editorials by the Salem Statesman Journal detailing the institution's inappropriate patient conditions would result once again in public outcry, citations, and fines.
My
While this hospital has
dispenser!
put forth effort to change this stigma, even going so far as to pour $458 million into a replacement hospital with 620 beds. In as recently as September of 2022, a lawsuit was settled between the site and disabilities rights advocates regarding what else but overcrowding. And later the same year, a contract employee was actually caught.
Engineering
punching a
is so
patient in the
easy, you
head.
just
Not great as far
run
as
around
press
and you
goes.
win.
Fitting the bill is your classic haunted insane asylum with a history of shady patient practices. The Oregon State Hospital is synonymous
truly
with
have the
serial
internet of all
ghost
time.
stories, with staff,
Let's keep a
visitors,
tracker
and
of how many
patients
streams
alike
it takes
having
for
reported
the
an absurd
next
number of
internet
supernatural
issue.
happenings, including
'Cause
objects
honestly-
sighted moving around on their own,
Yeah,
extreme cold spots,
gotta keep track.
and instances of cell phones behaving erratically. During a 2008
At least this team is great.
excavation, artifacts connected to the 1852 homestead of Morgan
Kinda
L.
vibing and
Lute
winning.
Savage, which included dishes, glass windows, a canning jar, and a chimney, were uncovered on the hospital's campus. And since, many have described
man.
phantom bootsteps, the smell of pipe tobacco, and encounters with the spirit of Savage himself, which some say is restless over the disturbance of his property. Also reported through the facility is the constant feeling of being watched or followed by a disapproving presence. Instances of rooms or halls changing, or of individuals discovering strange areas
Sentry
that they're never
Buster.
again able to
Oh,
relocate,
man.
and run-ins with the ghosts of both
Dude.
employees and restless patients. Lastly, several disturbing
Dude.
documentation of instances in which the countless apparitions of those poisoned
Annoying
appear in the
annoying
cafeteria
huh,
and as if
sniper.
things couldn't get any worse. In 2004,
Dude.
the remains of around 3,600 patients were uncovered within a space now recognized as the Room of Forgotten Souls. Last but not least, number 5 has us checking in at the remote and ominous Oregon Caves Chateau. The Oregon Caves Chateau, or Chateau at the
There you
Oregon
go.
Caves, which is located in Cave Junction, Oregon, is a popular wilderness retreat placed in some of
Jeez,
the state's most
hey,
beautiful and
chill!
forebodingly dense
Chill,
forests. It's surrounded by
dude!
a myriad of legends,
They want my
ghost
sentry
stories, and reports of
dead!
encounters with various cryptids of native lore. Historically, lands surrounding the Oregon Caves were initially inhabited
That's
by
so
the native
evil!
Tequila and several other tribes who resided near for thousands of years. As settlers began arriving to the area,
That's
courtesy
messed
of a treaty
up.
with the
What did I do?
Tequila,
What did my
while on a
sentry
hunting
do
trip in
wrong?
1874, one Elijah Davidson would stumble across an opening to the Oregon Caves and would return again
Dude.
later with friends in 1877. In 1884,
Never
one
again.
Walter C. Birch and his brothers-in-law,
I didn't know they'd be able to
Homer and
reach
Ernest
there.
Harkness, who'd all heard of the caves from Davidson, would stake a squatter's claim in the lower cave entrance and would charge $1 a
There we
person
go.
for guided tours. And over subsequent years, the caverns would only grow in popularity. In 1934, and designed by local contractor Gus Liam, the chateau at the Oregon Caves would open its doors, with the chalet acting as a gift shop
Oh,
and guide
man.
residence, with the site growing rapidly in popularity with both those
6 of them
traveling
got
the nearby
through?
highway, with hikers taking advantage of the wild assortment of nearby trails, and with spelunkers
Well, at least that was the
seeking
last
their next
ones.
adventure. In 1987, the chateau was listed as a National Historic Landmark, and in 2001, the National Park Service would begin providing cave tours and other services on site. The Oregon Caves Chateau remains open to this day, offering a fine dining room, an old-timey cafe, a gift shop, 23 guest rooms, and, get this, haunted candlelight tours right around Halloween. Chillingly, the chateau at the Oregon Caves has long been surrounded by ghost stories, native legends, and tales
That's
of the
great!
unknown. And both guests and staff have reported extreme cold spots, instances of doors or windows opening and closing on their own, and accounts of disembodied voices shouting out names or orders across both the dining room and cafe. In various rooms, guests have reported lights turning on and off by themselves, documentation of returning to locked rooms to find the water faucets on, and horrifying instances in which sheets are literally ripped from sleeping guests in the middle of the night. Possibly the most famous story surrounding the chateau is that of the Blue Lady. As legend has it,
hey, it's the Blue Lady
long ago,
again.
A young bride named Elizabeth caught her new hubby with another woman, possibly a chambermaid.
I
while they
feel
were
like I've
staying
heard
at
this
the
before, but I'm
lodging.
not sure.
In grief, Elizabeth is said to have ran back to her own quarters, room 310,
Ammo.
where she either decided to take her own life by jumping or was possibly even pushed out of the window to her death. Ever since, her blue, slightly glowing spirit has been sighted wandering the halls of the chateau after dark. Also,
I
reported
get
across
it.
chateau grounds are objects sighted moving around on their own, phantom voices and footsteps heard from
Bro,
empty
fuck the Marvel
rooms, and a
Rivals website.
strange
That shit
commotion
don't
that
work. The
guests
codes run out in 4 minutes and I log in with Twitch and the Marvel website log me out of Twitch on my PC. I need to log in back in.
That's okay. Marvel Rivals will eventually release, and then we'll all be able to play it. Don't worry. You may have missed the demo, but that's okay. At least, can I run a Marvel Rivals like campaign and give people free codes? Because I totally would. Whew, that's cold. Ah, it's cold.
staying on the top floor describe as sounding as if someone is walking across the roof above their heads. But it's not just the chateau that harbors tales of terror. Surrounding this weathered lodge are a multitude of trails as well as the Oregon Caves themselves, and those enjoying the expanse's lush bounty of nature have told of strange patches of fog that descend upon the area alone on otherwise clear days, the sounds of something heavy cutting through nearby foliage, and yips.
Wow, we did
howls,
this
and
one so
growls
much
that
better than the
aren't
last one.
identifiable even by specialists. Sightings of various cryptids throughout the forest are all but common, with reports including being stalked by beasts such as skinwalkers or the dreaded Wendigo, to encounters with the legendary
Oh man,
anti-conic
oh man, oh
Sasquatch.
man.
Incidentally, one more terrifying encounter, which was actually featured on several high-profile TV series, details an intense instance in which a man and his family were, in what amounts to a very rare phenomena, actually attacked by a Sasquatch who followed them
What?
for a great distance, throwing large rocks at dangerous speeds. Lastly,
Oh,
the
my
caves
sensor's gonna go
themselves
boom.
are not void of the paranormal, and those who have braved their depths have reported disembodied footsteps that stalk lone
Oh, you
whispers,
have a
mysterious
key.
whispers heard through the dark, and encounters with small flying wicker-like creatures that some tell are either fairies or forest spirits, and that most describe as feeling threatened by. Additionally, several traversing the caves have told of being touched,
Well, dang,
pushed,
sorry to hear
hit,
about
or
that.
even grabbed and dragged by unseen hands that shoot through the darkness. With its spectacular setting, ghostly residents, and close ties to cryptid
How long does the
encounters,
playtest
Oregon
have?
Cave Chateau is a great
Until it's over.
destination for those interested in the region's history and in its hauntings and folklore. Thanks for joining me on this list.
That's
of some
it
of the
for
most haunted
Oregon?
places in
Bro.
Oregon. If you
Those haunted plantations? New York?
Abandoned railroad stations where phantom trains linger, deserted insane asylums holding the tortured spirits of former patients, and famous historic houses whose halls are roamed by the ghosts of former U.S. presidents await on this list of some of the most haunted places in New York. Are you ready to get rolling? Hey guys, and thanks for joining me on this journey through some of the most haunted places in the Empire State, or New York. Recognized for its massive
Easy.
parks, larger-than-life skyline, famous art institutions, unparalleled food scene.
We might get couple more ghost presidents eventually. Honestly, yeah, you're right. I wonder who though. Do you think Barack Obama could be a ghost president? That'd be kind of funny.
Times Square, and so much more. New York also totes a surprising
I'm outta
number
here.
of chilling ghost stories and tales of otherworldly encounters. Let's dive right in.
Olge. Yeah.
Our first haunt lands us just off of Oyster Bay at the ever-famous Sagamore Hill.
Look at my wrench.
Sagamore
1006
Hill,
kill.
located in Cove Neck, New York, is a site of significant historical importance.
Look at this
famously
gun.
known as the home of Theodore
Look at
Roosevelt,
this.
the 26th president of the United
Look at
States.
this.
Built between 1884 and
Look at this.
1885, Sagamore Hill served as Roosevelt's primary residence and the summer White House during his presidency from 1901 to 1909. And the estate,
Dude, that thing is taking
encompassing 83
forever to
acres of
spawn
rolling
in.
fields, woodlands, and salt marshes, offers a window into the life and times of one of America's most dynamic leaders. Theodore Roosevelt, a man of diverse interests and boundless energy, chose the location for Sagamore Hill for its natural beauty and proximity to Oyster Bay. The Queen Anne-style house reflects his personality, filled with mementos from his travels, hunting trophies, books, and artwork. The home includes 23 rooms, with notable spaces such as the
Where's
North
the
Room,
Scout?
which showcases Roosevelt's
Also, man, I
extensive
still can't
collection of
believe this
artifacts
went
and
better than
memorabilia,
last time.
and the library,
Like,
where
these
he
two-
penned many of his speeches.
Look at this. We had a professional last time and we were kind of suffering, but this time we just got a demo and a medic talking to each other for the whole night. It's crazy. Obama probably has like 80 years ahead of him, not gonna lie. Making him 140? That'd be kind of crazy. Can you imagine? Oh, wait. There you go. You know who doesn't have 80 years ahead of him? Old man Joe.
And books. During his presidency, Sagamore Hill became a hub of political activity. Roosevelt would host numerous dignitaries, politicians, and friends conducting official business in the serene environment of his estate, and it was actually there that he negotiated the end to the Russo-Japanese War, earning him the Nobel Peace Prize in 1906. Notably, this estate remained Roosevelt's sanctuary until his passing in 1919. Sagamore Hill, now managed by the National Park Service, is preserved as a National Historic Site. It attracts visitors from around
Someday I'll
the
bring 'em
world who
back,
come to
if
learn
I
about
remember.
Roosevelt's life, his
I mean, they're still there. I just gotta find them somewhere.
contributions to conservation, and his enduring legacy in American history. The house and grounds are meticulously maintained, offering guided tours that provide insights
man.
into the personal and professional life of Theodore. Beyond its historical significance, however, Sagamore Hill is also rumored to be quite haunted. The tales
There's
of
two
ghostly
engineers!
encounters
Ah!
add a further layer of mystery to this storied estate, and both visitors and staff members have reported various unexplained phenomena over
Man.
the years, contributing to the belief that the spirit of old Teddy himself and other former residents may still linger.
Nobody
One of the
knows.
most frequently recounted experiences involves the apparition of Theodore Roosevelt himself, and several visitors have claimed to see a figure
My
resembling
my
the former POTUS
century!
in period clothing, often described as a tall, robust man with distinctive spectacles. These sightings typically occur in the North Room or the library, areas where Roosevelt spent much of his time in life, and some believe that this strong presence and deep connection to Sagamore Hill have left an undeniable mark, causing his
Hey,
spirit
Sadie,
to
what's
remain
up?
within his beloved home. In addition to
I'm gambling. Do you think I'll get the golden pen this time? I hope I do. We got 2 engine. We're doing really great. We're just winning. Because all we do is win. How is the movie?
Roosevelt's ghost, there have been reports of other spectral activities as well, with some visitors having heard disembodied voices.
Yeah, yeah. Your HUD is so different than mine. I just made it smaller and that's it. I think if you want to do that, you just go. There you go. Enable HUD, enable minimal HUD. And there you go. Easy peasy. And that's how you make the HUD. Oh! I can't make mine smaller? What do you mean? Like, for real? Wait, does making the HUD smaller do that? It does! Why does it do that? Why does it get rid... Bro. Why does it get rid of... That's so weird. Why does it do that? Why does it get rid... It just... Bro, that's so weird. That is a really weird design choice. Also, playing engineer is so fun, dude. Like, I could literally just do this. Check this out. I'm just here, eating an ice cream. Vibing. Oh, frick. I think engineer. Oh, poor medic. Engineer in this game mode, or in Manhattan, is definitely better than in. Also, I gotta learn how to do that. But better here than in Rottenburg. Ruh-roh. Easy money. I could just play RuneScape. Oh, there's money here. Oh, hey, oh yeah, they go up there. I forgot about that. I think they have this handled. If I accidentally take out the whole team, though, oof. Okay. I wasn't the one who took out the whole team. That's good. It was the other guy. Oh, man. Dude. Hooray! Heavy's a goner. There you go.
Thanks for the ride, partner.
There we go. Easy. Anyways, back to listening.
Footsteps, and even the sound of furniture moving around on its own. Incidentally, these commotions are often attributed to the lively gatherings and discussions that once filled the house during Roosevelt's time there. Another intriguing tale involves the ghost of Edith Roosevelt, Theo's wife. Visitors to the house have occasionally reported seeing a woman in Victorian attire believed to be Edith, moving gracefully through the halls or gazing out of various windows, and her presence is often associated with a sense of calm and warmth, reflecting her role as the matriarch of the family. The very grounds of Sagamore Hill also have their own share of ghost stories, and some have felt sudden cold spots or an eerie sense of being watched while walking through the estate's trails and gardens. Experiences that are often attributed to the spirits of long-gone staff
Oh,
or
I actually
family
have to
members who
focus.
remain attached to the land they once tended and loved,
Okay.
or even to the spirits of Native Americans
focusing.
that settled there long before colonization. Sagamore Hill,
I'm
with its
focused.
combination of historical richness and ghostly lore, continues to captivate those who visit. It offers a unique glimpse into the life of one of America's most influential presidents, while also inviting curiosity about the supernatural. And whether drawn in by its historical significance or the allure of its haunted reputation, Sagamore Hill remains a fascinating and evocative landmark on Long
Man, you
Island's
know
Cape
what?
Coast. Now, on to number
got
2,
him.
which takes us to the western end of the state, to the Buffalo Central Terminal. The The Buffalo Central Terminal, an iconic Art Deco train station located in Buffalo, New York,
I thought
stands
that
as
got
a
me.
monument to a bygone era of American rail travel. Opened in 1929, this grand structure once served as a bustling hub for passengers and freight, symbolizing the city's status as a major transportation center. But despite its grandeur and initial success, the terminal's fortunes declined in the mid-20th century,
Heavy's just vibing
leading
up
to its
there.
eventual abandonment and a legacy as one of Buffalo's most haunted locations. Designed by the architectural firm Fellheimer and Wagner, Buffalo Central Terminal was an impressive feat of engineering and design. The main concourse, with its towering 58-foot
That wasn't me.
ceilings, intricate tile work, and expansive windows, epitomize the elegance and optimism of the era. And at its peak, the terminal accommodated
That's
over
all I
200
have to do
trains
now.
and
Just
10,000
look.
passengers
This
daily,
is all I
serving
need
as a
to do
vital
to play
link
this
in the New
game
York
as
Central Railroad
engineer.
network. However,
This is
the
peak
rise in
gameplay.
automobile travel and the decline in railroads in the post-World War II period led to a significant decrease in passenger traffic, and by the 1950s and 60s, the terminal's bustling activity had dwindled, and the building would fall into disrepair. In 1979, the last passenger train departed from Buffalo Central Terminal, marking an end to its operational life. And since then, the building has stood largely vacant, a haunting reminder of its former glory. Despite its abandoned state, Buffalo Central Terminal has garnered a reputation as a hotspot for paranormal activity, attracting ghost hunters and enthusiasts from around the world. And the building's eerie atmosphere, with its decaying interiors and echoing halls, provides a
I'm
perfect
dead.
backdrop
I'm
for
okay.
tales of hauntings and unexplained phenomena. One of the most frequently reported
I got
ghostly
grass.
encounters involves the apparition of a man believed to be a former railroad worker. Visitors and paranormal investigators alike have described
team is
seeing
great.
this spectral figure dressed in early 20th century work clothes, often spotted near the concourse or in the maintenance areas. And this ghost is said to continue his duties seemingly unaware of the passage of time.
Charge!
Another well-known legend is that of a lady in white, a ghostly figure who's been seen wandering the terminal's corridors and waiting
What a
areas.
fun game.
Described as a woman in a flowing white dress, she is often accompanied by an overwhelming sense of sadness or longing, and some speculate that she may have been a
If you had a remote job, like, you know, let's just use me as an example. If I could somehow set up TF2 engineer gameplay to play on its own like this, while I work on anything else, then I'd be set. Like, I could just gamble every day trying to get $6,000. It would cost $4, but like, if I just kept, if I kept trying to do the gamble on auto, but also work on other stuff, then not only can I work on whatever else I want, but I could also just gamble every day, non-stop, all day, every day, without really putting 100% focus to it. What is that? What in the world is that? That's such a sick effect. Look at that. That's so awesome. What in the world? Oh, I died. That's okay.
passenger awaiting for a loved one who never arrived, forever trapping her in a state of despair and waiting. The terminal's ticket booth area is another focal point for supernatural happenings.
That is a fast
as many
heavy.
visitors near have reported hearing the sounds of disembodied voices and the clattering of phantom footsteps, as if the spirits of the long-departed passengers are still moving through the space. Incidentally, some have heard the distant echoes of a train whistle, despite no trains having passed through for decades now. In addition to these ghostly figures,
Every time I look, you're dying. Yeah, that's because I don't have max resistances. We're winning, though. I'm kind of not doing much. I'm just standing around. My team clearly is doing most of the work here, but, like, you know, we're winning. We're winning. We kind of fumbled this one, but that's okay. Pooch's Patrol. Yeah, most of them are honestly trolling. Oops. I'm building. I'm building. Oh, hey, it's already max. All right, it's time to lock in. So much for locking in. I'm locked in. 5 out of whatever. I guess I'll take that. I'll take that. I'll take that, and I'm set. Let's go. We got a sniper. Soldier's a gunner. Look at my wrench. It has 106 kills. Isn't it so cool?
Teleporter going up.
Dispenser going up. Alright, not bad. We really were the man versus machine of Team Fortress 2. I know. Oh! I didn't know that was the final wave. I wasn't fully paying attention. Dang. That's the fast... That's a... Wow, okay, so this one's clearly going to take 45 minutes. Like I said, chat, my calculations were correct. If I could beat both Manhattan missions in 45 minutes, that's awesome. If I could beat... what's it called? Both Rottenberg, that's an hour. Now, if I combine all of it, I could do it in under 150 minutes, which would be great. But I don't know if that's possible, but we'll see. Check this out. I'm gaming. Engineer Gaming Max.
There are numerous accounts of unexplained phenomena throughout the terminal. Cold spots, sudden gusts of wind, and the sensation of being watched are common experiences reported by those who explore the
Look at
building.
this.
And personal
That's
electronics
all you gotta do.
often malfunction or drain unexpectedly, a hallmark of paranormal activity.
Okay, that wasn't their own
by
fault. Oh, that was a
investigators.
spy.
The Buffalo Central Terminal Restoration Corporation, formed in the 1990s, has been working to preserve and restore this historic landmark. While significant progress has been made, the building's haunting allure remains intact, drawing both
Cowboy
history buffs
up.
and those intrigued by the supernatural. And events such as ghost tours and paranormal investigations are regularly held, allowing for visitors to experience the terminal's eerie charm firsthand. Buffalo
Man!
Central Terminal, with its
There you
rich
go.
history and spectral legends, continues to be a fascinating and enigmatic presence
Hooray!
in Buffalo. And whether one is drawn in by its
Dude, that
architectural
medic is
beauty,
just running
historical
around healing
significance, or the
anything in
spine-chilling
sight.
ghost stories that surround it, the terminal stands as a poignant reminder
We
of
still
the
got a
past
long way
and
to
a beacon
go.
for the curious and the brave. And on to number 3, which has us
On
traveling
to
a
number
short skip
3.
north of New York
know what? I'm
City
gonna
to
farm
the infamous
teleports.
Letchworth Village. Letchworth Village, located in Rockland County, New York, is a place where history and hauntings intertwine to create an eerie atmosphere.
Good thing
Opened in
Spice can't
1911
stab, 'cause
as a
that'd be so
residential
annoying.
Institution for the mentally and physically disabled, Letchworth was initially envisioned as a
you
progressive
imagine?
facility aimed at providing humane care and education. Named
Oops.
after William Pryor Letchworth, a noted humanitarian
Oops.
and philanthropist, the village-like complex spread over 2,362 acres and included
Wow.
over 130 buildings, ranging from dormitories to hospitals, schools,
Charge!
and workshops. The early years of Letchworth Village were marked by idealism and hope, with an emphasis
Charge!
on fresh air, open space,
Engineer
and nurturing
game, they'll
environment.
never hit
However,
me!
as the decades
Oh,
passed,
frick!
the institution became notorious
They
for
did!
its overcrowded conditions, inadequate funding, and reports of neglect and abuse. By the mid-20th century, Letchworth Village had become a place of suffering for many of its residents. Investigations and exposés through the 1970s, including a damning report by ABC News correspondent Geraldo Rivera, revealed the extent of mistreatment and squalid conditions. And these revelations ultimately led to a public outcry and contributed to a nationwide deinstitutionalization movement, with the village eventually closing its doors in 1996 and leaving behind a legacy both of humanitarian aspirations and human rights failures. Today,
Go,
the
go, go,
abandoned
go,
and
go.
overgrown buildings of Letchworth Village stand in stark contrast to its serene surroundings, creating a hauntingly beautiful but eerie landscape. And its decaying structures, overtaken by nature, have become a magnet for urban explorers,
Thanks.
history enthusiasts,
Uh-oh.
and ghost hunters, with numerous reports of paranormal activity emerging over the years, adding to the site's haunted reputation. One of the most frequently reported phenomena is the
This match
appearance
can
of
get so
ghostly
annoying
figures,
just because there's so many
particularly
demo
of
nights.
children. Incidentally, visitors have claimed to see apparitions of young residents wandering the grounds, playing in now empty fields, or peering out from behind broken windows. These spectral children are often described as wearing old-fashioned clothing and seem to vanish into thin air when approached, and some believe them the spirits of the many children who lived and died at Letchworth Village, unable to find peace due to the suffering they endured in life.
Am I dead?
Another common
Nope.
report involves unexplained sounds echoing through the dilapidated buildings.
That's a lot of spies.
Disembodied voices, whispers, and cries have been heard, often in the dead of night, and some have described hearing the faint sounds of children
get up
laughing
there?
or crying, the shuffle of footsteps in empty hallways, and the eerie creaking of doors or furniture. Notably, these auditory experiences are often accompanied by feelings of unease and sudden drops in temperature, further suggesting the presence of restless
Dude,
spirits.
hurry up.
The
Yeah!
hospital buildings and
All
the
right.
particular
Anybody get anything? Nope, 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 nope. All right. That guy just left, I guess. Nice. All right. How long did that take? 40 minutes for a man. Ooh, I got a thingy. That's cool. For a, what's it called? I can't even think. What's new here? For joining a match that was currently in progress, or no. For a Manhattan match, doing it under 40 minutes, pretty good. All right. Now I wait. Hopefully I can join a match that's in progress and they're at the final match and I just get a free tour. I call it a day. I call it a night. I move on. GG. Easy peasy lemon Febreze. I feel like I could honestly just speedrun these so fast.
Dude, the Marvel Rivals website work now and restock codes. I got my PS5 code CATPLs, 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 woo.
Cat PLs, Cat PLs, Cat PLs. There was a restock? Like as if it was an available item? That's crazy. What the heck? I didn't know that. But all right, now we finally move on to Bot Bash, the easiest one. Easiest one, I tell ya, chat. Easiest. Easiest. Not only does it start out with everything imaginable possible in the game, but it's the easiest one. We could easily do this with 3 engineers. But that's great, though. Well, congrats. I hope you enjoy the game. I haven't played it yet. Will I play it? Eventually. Once it's available on Steam. Free for everybody to access and win and game. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I am making some really good progress right now, though. I'm not going to lie. And these people seem like they know what they're doing. So here we go. Chad, do you think that guy likes fish? His name is I Like Fish, after all.
Particularly notorious for their paranormal activity. Investigators and visitors here have reported encountering shadowy figures moving through the halls, sudden cold spots, and the ever-present sensation of being watched. And some have felt
All right,
an
here we go.
inexplicable sense of dread and sorrow.
They
when
restock
entering these
every day?
areas, as if
Dang.
the very walls are imbued with the lingering anguish of former patients. Adding to the spine-tingling
That's a lot.
ambiance, several ghost hunters have captured compelling evidence during investigations, including EVPs, mysterious orbs in photography, and unexplained figures in video. Findings that have only further fueled fascination with Letchworth Village as a hotspot for supernatural activity. Letchworth, with its blend of tragic history and ghostly tales, continues to capture the imagination of those who visit. Its story is a sobering reminder of past struggles faced by the mentally and physically disabled, and the importance of humane treatment and care.
Alright, what's my current
Whether
time?
drawn in by its
44
historical
minutes?
significance or the allure of the supernatural, those who explore the grounds of the
Chubzo
village
one?
are often left with a profound sense of the lives that once inhabited this
Alright.
now silent
It's time to
place.
lock in.
Number 4 has us exploring one of the most
Frick.
famous government buildings around, being the New York State Capitol.
Whoops.
The New York State Capitol, located in Albany, New York, is an architectural masterpiece and a symbol of the state's rich political history. Constructed over a
Oops.
period of 32 years from 1867 to 1899, this Capitol building is renowned for its intricate design blending Romanesque Revival, Neo-Renaissance, and Victorian Gothic architectural styles. And standing majestically
How's gambling
at the head of
going? This
State
is my
Street, the
last
Capitol is not
mission.
only a seat of
And
New
then
York
I-
State legislature,
I'll be
but
done.
also a site with a reputation for being one of the most haunted buildings in the state. The Capitol's construction was a monumental undertaking involving several architects, including Thomas
Oops.
Fuller, Leopold Eidlitz, and Henry Hobson Richardson, each who contributed to its unique design. The building's grand staircase, known as the $1 Million Staircase, is one of its most remarkable features, adorned with carved faces and figures, and the interior is equally impressive, with opulent chambers, intricate stonework, and stained glass windows reflecting the grandeur and ambition of its creators. Throughout history, the New York State Capitol has been a center of numerous significant political events and decisions.
I'm alive.
However, it also totes a darker side, marked by tales of tragic accidents, mysterious deaths, and paranormal activity. And these stories only further contribute to its eerie reputation and attract both history enthusiasts and ghost hunters. One of the most enduring legends associated with the Capitol is the haunting of Samuel Abbott. Abbott was a night
Samuel
watchman
Adams.
who tragically perished in a fire that broke out in the Capitol on March 29th of 1911. Incidentally, this blaze destroyed much of the western wing of the building, including the state library, and despite extensive investigations, the cause for this fire was never determined, and Abbott's death remains a
It's
poignant
probably
chapter in
all the
Capitol's
smoking they
history.
did back in the day.
Subsequently, visitors and employees have reported encountering Abbott's ghost, often described as a shadowy figure or a cold presence, particularly near areas where the fire occurred, and some have heard footsteps and doors opening and closing on their own that are believed to be the restless spirit of Abbott continuing his patrol. Another ghostly tale involves the Lost Mason. During the construction of the Capitol, a stonemason reportedly fell to his death while working on the building's intricate stonework. His body was never recovered, and it's said that his spirit haunts the corridors and staircases of the Capitol, forever searching for a way out. Sightings of a ghostly
Dude, we
figure
missed
in old-fashioned
$5,
work clothes have been reported, along with
bro.
unexplained noises such as hammering and
Oh,
chiseling
why are you
echoing
locked
through
onto
empty
me?
halls. Even the legislative chambers themselves are not exempt from paranormal activity, and both lawmakers and staff members here have experienced sudden drops in temperature, flickering lights, and the sensation of being watched, with some reporting hearing faint voices and rustling of papers even when the rooms are empty. Notably, these occurrences have led many to believe that the spirits of past
didn't know the medic was
legislators
still
still
alive.
linger, perhaps continuing their work or debates from the other side. The Capitol's staircases, especially the
I would've
$1
lived
Million
that.
Staircase, are also hotspots for ghostly encounters. The latter prominent staircase features hundreds of carved faces, some
could
of which
honestly
that are
play
said to
Pyro
have been
if I
molded
wanted
after
to.
real people involved in the building's construction, and visitors traversing it have reported seeing these faces move or change expressions, with some claiming to have seen apparitions near the staircase, including
Why
the
am I
ghost of a young
dying?
boy who allegedly
I'm
fell
so
to
good
his
at
death
this
during the
game.
building's construction. Adding to the haunted lore, the Hall of Governors, which houses portraits of New York's governors, has
ammo,
its own share of eerie
damage,
stories. Some of the
damage.
portraits themselves are believed to be
That'll
haunted,
do.
with visitors and staff members reporting the eyes in the paintings seeming to follow them as they move.
Why
And
would
there
they
are
kick
even
them?
accounts of the portraits shifting
It was a
position on
scout.
the walls, further enhancing the Capitol's
It was a joke.
reputation as a haunted site. The New York State Capitol, with its stunning architecture and storied past, is a place where history and the supernatural intersect. Its tales of hauntings and unexplained phenomena add an intriguing dimension to this historic building, and whether visiting for its political significance, architectural beauty, or the allure of its ghostly legends, the site remains a fascinating and enigmatic landmark in New York. Saving the best for last, get ready to explore one of New York City's most beautifully haunting graveyards, being the Trinity Church Cemetery. Trinity Church Cemetery,
what?
nestled in the bustling heart of Manhattan, New York, is a tranquil and historic sanctuary amidst the city's constant motion. Established in 1697, it's one of the oldest burial grounds in the city and is associated with the Trinity Church, an Episcopal parish located at the intersection of Broadway and Wall Street. Notably, this cemetery
awesome.
encompasses 3 separate burial sites: the original Trinity Churchyard in Lower Manhattan, the Churchyard of St. Paul's Chapel, and the Trinity Church Cemetery and Mausoleum at Hamilton Heights. The original Trinity Churchyard, located at 74 Trinity Place, serves as a final resting place for
what a
many
great,
prominent
address.
figures of American history. Alexander Hamilton, the first Secretary of Treasury and one of the founding fathers of the U.S., is buried there. And his tomb,
Dang.
marked by a large white marble monument, draws numerous
Marvel.
visitors and history
Like
enthusiasts
Marvel
alike.
rivals.
Nearby rests Elizabeth Schuyler Hamilton, his wife, along with other notable individuals such as Robert Fulton, the inventor of the steamboat, and Albert
Steamboat
Gallatin,
Willie?
distinguished politician and diplomat. St. Paul's Chapel, situated a few blocks north of Trinity Church, has its own historic churchyard. This chapel, completed in 1766, is Manhattan's oldest surviving church building, and during the American Revolution, it served as a place of worship for George Washington himself. Miraculously, the chapel and churchyard
Dang,
survived
that did
the
a
Great
lot of
Fire
damage.
1776, which destroyed much of the surrounding area, and today it remains a serene spot, offering a glimpse into the city's colonial past. The Trinity Church Cemetery and Mausoleum, located in the Washington Heights neighborhood, is the third component of this historic burial ground. Opened in 1842, it was one of the first cemeteries in New York City to be designed as a rural cemetery that was inspired by picturesque cemeteries of Europe, and the expansive grounds provide a peaceful retreat from the urban environment with rolling hills, towering trees, and elegant monuments. Trinity Church Cemetery is not just a place of historical significance, however, as it's also reputed to be one of New York City's most haunted locations. The cemetery's long history and the many notable figures interred there have given rise to numerous ghost stories and reports of supernatural happenings. One of the most famous ghostly tales associated with Trinity Church Cemetery involves the spirit of Alexander Hamilton himself. Incidentally, visitors have reported seeing a spectral figure resembling Hamilton right near his grave, dressed in period attire, and some claim to have felt a sudden chill or an inexplicable presence while paying their respects at his tomb. Notably, his apparition is believed to still be keeping watch over the city that he loved and helped
poor
to shape.
engineer.
Another prominent ghostly resident is that of Robert Fulton.
Well-worn,
Witnesses
strange
have
current
recounted
event
sightings of a
scattergun?
man in 19th century clothing near Fulton's grave, often described as appearing deep in thought.
Spooky
or
vid second
contemplation.
monitoring.
These sightings typically
Yeah,
occur
man,
at
like
dusk
zoinks.
or after dark, adding an eerie atmosphere to the cemetery. But these burial grounds also play home to numerous less famous spirits, and both visitors and paranormal enthusiasts.
I don't have health on kill, I don't have health on kill.
Voices, whispers, and even the
Jeez.
sounds of footsteps on the gravel path when no one else is around. And some have even experienced sudden drops in temperature or felt an inexplicable sense of unease.
I like
as
using
if
my
they're being
imagination,
followed by
even
a
if
presence
TF2 is
unseen.
playing.
A particularly chilling story involves the grave.
gotta help,
of
I gotta
one
help my NG, I
Charlotte
gotta help my
Temple,
NG.
a fictional character from the popular 18th century novel Charlotte Temple by Susanna Rosen. Despite being a character of fallacy, a tombstone for Charlotte Temple exists in the cemetery, placed there as a tribute by an anonymous admirer, and legend has it that the ghost of Charlotte Temple roams the cemetery, searching for her lost love and lamenting her tragic fate.
All right, nice.
Visitors have reported hearing her soft
Anyways, hope you
crying
win.
and seeing
Oh
a
yeah, I'm
shadowy
winning. This
female
is a
figure
pretty
near
good
the
team. We're
tombstone,
kind of just
especially
blazing
on
through it
foggy
like as if
evenings.
it's nothing.
Trinity Church Cemetery, with its rich history and ghostly legends, offers a unique blend of historical reverence and supernatural intrigue. And whether one visits to pay homage to the
Our
great
scout's
figures
also
of
really
America's
good.
past,
Like, they
or to
just
explore its
haven't missed a
haunted
single
lore,
dollar.
the site remains a captivating and mysterious landmark in the heart of New
They're
York
milked?
City. Thanks for joining me in exploring some of the most haunted places.
I got
in New York.
annihilated.
If you enjoyed hearing my histories and ghost stories,
Does it mean that you're being
subscribe to my
carried?
channel,
Not really.
throw this
I mean, I'm
upload a
doing
like,
my
and
part.
share me with anyone
I have
you
second
feel
most
could use
damage.
a good scare. I'll see you all next time.
Oh, we lost money. $5. Ban the scout. All of those shots missed, dude. Holy. Most haunted places in West Virginia.
A chilling classic mansion, a popular college campus, and an infamous prison await on this
Easy.
list of some of the most haunted places in West Virginia. Are you ready to get started?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I could honestly just play engineer right now too if I wanted to, but you know what? No. I'll play soldier. Maybe I'll get an Australian rocket launcher.
Hey guys, and thanks for
Hey,
joining
what's
me on
up?
this list of some of the most haunted places in West Virginia. Recognized for its unparalleled nature
Ooh, I already did
expanses,
one
its
on New York.
fascinating history,
I
and
could find
ridiculously
Connecticut.
good cuisine, the mountain state is also home to the weird and otherworldly. From the iconic Mothman of Point Pleasant to weathered haunted houses, and even to extensive native folklore, the whole of this region is absolutely saturated in old hill stories, cryptid sightings, and ghostly fables. Let's jump right in. Our first haunt has us skirting the West Virginia-Maryland border at the Berkeley Springs Castle. The Berkeley Springs Castle, or the Samuel Taylor Sweet Cottage, which is located in Berkeley Springs, West Virginia, is a prominent historic abode placed on a hillside overlooking the community that, over time, has earned a reputation as one of the more haunted places in the state.
I gotta log in.
Historically, construction of this prominent estate would
He's in
begin
Chipson,
in
West
1885
Virginia,
under
regular
Colonel
Virginia,
Samuel
not
Taylor
West
Sweet,
Virginia,
who
but
hailed
close
from
enough.
BC, though sadly, in 1888, he would die before it was ever completed, after which construction would continue through the early 1890s and was overseen by his widow, Rosa Pelham Sweet, and their 3 children. The family would remain on site until 1916, when Rosa sold the property to the banks, after which, over the years, it would serve a number of purposes, acting as a museum and a boys' camp among other interests, before its purchase under owner Andrew Goslin, who would perform a series of intensive restorations, handing the property over to the Berkeley Castle Foundation. In the present, the Berkeley Castle remains open and caters to a number of events, including weddings, ceremonies, and more. Chillingly, over its many years, owners, staff, and guests to this prestigious cottage have reported a range of supernatural happenings, including lights that turn on and off by themselves,
Lights
instances
that
of
turn
furniture
on
or
and
other
off
objects
and
that
no
are
one's
rearranged overnight, and when
there.
the
Oh,
building site is
frick,
supposed to be
dude.
locked up, and disembodied footsteps heard
turnaround.
through empty hallways. For a time, through the early 1900s, the Sweet Cottage was utilized for socials, dances, and other gatherings. And some have described hearing the sounds of phantom music, of laughter,
This
and
engineer-
the clinking of
I love-
glasses drifting through the air. And several informal
That's
paranormal
so
investigations
sad, the
of the
poor
area yielded
engineer.
high EMF levels and
Dude.
crystal clear EVPs. Lastly, the apparitions of both Samuel and Rosa have been sighted lurking about.
I thought
And
that
while
was a spy.
mostly observed separately, they have also been spied together, embracing one another or whispering lovingly into each other's ears.
That's a spy.
Okay, so our second haunt lands us on the far
That's
southern
not a
end of the
spy,
state of the
dude.
Lake Shawnee
That-
Amusement
even
Park.
Medic thought that was a
Located in
spy.
Rock, West Virginia,
We
the
both
Lake Shawnee
fell
Amusement
for
Park
it.
is an abandoned amusement park that attributes its spooky setting to a number of tragic deaths and bone-chilling local legends on and surrounding the site. Historically, these lands were initially lived on and utilized by
West
tribes native to the
Virginia.
region, namely the Shawnee, who would create at least 2 separate
Mainly the
settlements
who?
in the area. It's believed these settlements were occupied for a long period of time, but were abandoned several hundred years before the first European settler, Mitchell Clay, would begin living and farming on the land with his family in 1775, which would inevitably lead to clashes with the local native
come
populations. And in 1783, one of his 15 children at the time would be kidnapped and burned at the stake, while 2 others would be slaughtered and scalped on the site where all 3 remain buried. Unaware of the bloody history of this land, in 1926, local businessman and
That was my own
entrepreneur
fault.
Conley T. Snidow would purchase the property with hopes of turning it into an amusement park.
That was my own
targeted
fault. That was
mostly
my
at
own
the
fault.
families of local
Oh, I
farmers.
had the
He would go on
perfect-
to build a Ferris
Oh, well.
wheel,
That
a
was my own
swing
fault.
ride, a speakeasy, and a swimming pool that would grow quickly in popularity. Sadly, through the 1950s, the park would become more synonymous with anguish.
Dang, that was
than
a
with
gift.
joy
That's so
after several
cool.
Deaths occurred on the property, including the drowning of a young boy. in the
Easy.
pool, which was later
We're on the
filled
second to
in,
last
and the
mission
passing of a
already,
young
I
girl
think.
Who was run over by a soda truck while playing on the swings. Fast forward 2 decades to 1985 when
I
Gaylord
think, I'm not
White,
sure.
who had spent his summers working at Lake Shawnee, would purchase the property in hopes of recreating his past. And while initially he was successful for a couple of years, in
I
1988,
lied,
the
chat.
site
We're
would
on
inevitably
4 out of
shut
7.
down.
Oof.
Notably, despite the official cause of closure listed as a failed health inspection, local legends claim the park was actually closed due to otherworldly phenomena. Following its closure, White would send excavation teams onto the property, and to make things that much creepier, they would uncover a number of sacred Shawnee artifacts and the remains of no less than 13 people, most of which were those of young children. Following these discoveries, White would eventually go on to lead tours of the property during the week of Halloween, a tradition that current owners continue to this very day with the Dark Carnival, a yearly event where paranormal enthusiasts and thrill seekers can explore the grounds, learn about its history, and pay their respects to the dead. Disturbingly, but not all that surprisingly, Lake Shawnee has long been surrounded by ghost
sick
stories and tales of
backflip!
inexplicable phenomena, and those visiting its bounds have reported otherworldly lights spied from long dormant equipment, the sounds of carnival-style
Alright.
music that drifts on the
I'm
winds, and the
almost
feeling
an
of being
hour
surrounded
in.
by a
I can do
crowd
this
of
in 30
persons
minutes, bro.
unseen.
Or 20
Near the
minutes, easily.
swings, the ghost of the aforementioned little girl has
think.
been sighted, and has even been known to communicate with visitors who get too close before fading away into nothingness. Several informal investigations of the old park have yielded high EMF levels, chilling EVPs, hits on thermal grids, and seemingly
Medic,
on
medic!
communicative devices such as spirit
Thanks,
boxes
medic.
or Ouija
I was
boards,
kinda
while others
trolling.
have described instances in which they blink and are suddenly staring at
What's on my-
visions of the expanse during its heyday, with
Oh,
rides
that's a
running,
piece of
the
plastic.
smells of food and smoke in the air, and a crowd all around them, only to
a little
blink
shard of
again and
plastic.
find that the site has returned to its current, cold, darkened state.
Uh-oh.
Lastly, near the old filled-in pool, the apparition of the little boy who drowned has been sighted moping about. While his spirit is usually sighted right around this area, it's also been seen in other parts of the
Engineer!
park, and several have described him as calling out for his mother, who, the day of his untimely passing, had left him alone just long enough for his tragedy to transpire. Our third haunt has us donning our caps and gowns at the ever-prestigious West Virginia University.
West
West Virginia University, or WVU, which is based out of Morgantown, West Virginia, is a public land-grant research university offering more than 350 bachelor's, master's, doctoral, and professional degree programs that has long been shrouded in a wide range of ghost stories and
This is
old
easy.
campus legends. Historically, on February 7th of 1867, and under the terms of the prior 1862 Moral Land Grant Colleges Act, what
I'm
was
lagging?
then called the Agricultural College of
Not
West
going to
Virginia
college
was
in West
officially
Virginia,
established,
then.
and
Oh,
would
okay.
open its doors on September 2nd of this same year, right on the grounds of the former Monongalia Academy of 1814 and the Woodburn Female Seminary of 1858. However, the very following year, on December 4th of 1868, lawmakers would rename the college
I
as
got
the
this.
West Virginia University to better represent its wider assortment of educational pathways. The institution's first building, being University Hall, was built in 1870. In 1873, a fire would destroy the Woodburn Seminary building, resulting
that.
in a new structure being finished to replace it by 1876. In 1889, 10 women were permitted
I had
to
it.
enroll on site. In 1891, Harriet Lyon would become the first female student to receive a degree, and notably finished first in the class above all other male students. And in 1893,
This goes by
Chitwood Hall,
really
which
fast
was
if you got a
precursor
great
to the
team, and I'm
Woodburn
glad I got a
Circle,
great
was
team.
constructed. Amidst a dramatic increase in enrollment, the turn of the 20th century would usher in the need for expansion. In
Oh, frick.
1902, a campus library was constructed within Stewart Hall. On November 2nd of 1911, President William Howard Taft would deliver his worldwide speech from the Puritan House. And while the World Wars and Great Depression would slow
Easy.
things down a bit, the university would still manage to integrate
money.
biology, medicine, journalism, pharmacy, and even mining
We did it.
programs through the same eras. Through the 40s, and as male students left for World War II, the female student populace would boom. Through the 50s,
Dang!
the school would undergo its most extreme period of growth to date.
Oh.
And through the 60s, and as enrollment continued to increase, various expansion projects were undertaken, and a number of new properties were acquired.
Nice.
In 1980, the university's old football stadium was closed down, and their new mountain layer field was opened near the medical campus. In 1988, Ruby Memorial Hospital was established. on
Almost done,
site,
almost
and
done.
in
I feel like I could finish
1989,
this
the
in
undefeated
under
Mountaineer football
15
team, led by Major
10 minutes,
Harris,
10 minutes,
would
10
make
minutes,
nationals
maybe.
before finally facing an L in the Fiesta Bowl to Notre Dame. More recently, in early August of 2023, and for the first time over its long
Where's
lifespan,
Kohozuna?
WVU would
Soon.
face financial hardships and would be forced to consider cutting 7% of its faculty while removing 32 major programs, some of which that included humanities and world languages, resulting in hundreds of students staging a walkout and rallying against these unwelcome changes. And later, the faculty assembly would approve a vote of no confidence in President Gordon G. In the present,
Classic
WVU
ME
remains
comments.
open, is recognized as one of the more prestigious schools in the U.S.
Don't
and totes
leave.
a student body of around 27,000. Like many of the other prestigious universities we've had the
Where do you
privilege
think
of
Emmy goes,
covering,
chat?
WVU is no stranger to school legends and tales of ghostly activity.
Dude, they're
Across
they're
the campus,
floating!
Both faculty and students throughout the years have reported extreme cold spots felt in adverse weather conditions, instances in which individuals feel as if someone or something unseen is standing right next to them, and encounters with shadowy figures that roam about and that have followed those who have crossed their paths at great lengths. Both Stewart Hall, which was finished in 1902, and the Mountain Layer, which was constructed in 1968 to replace the earlier 1948
Oh, you put the dispenser
structure,
so far.
play home to the dancing ghost of a little girl dubbed Sally, whose grave supposedly lies beneath the former, while the Elizabeth Moore Hall, which was built between 1926 and 1928, is rumored to harbor the spirit of its namesake, being Elizabeth, who has been known to silently watch over the expanse with a stone-cold face and piercing eyes. The downtown
Why
library
did the
complex,
Spencer
which
so
was
far?
constructed in 1931, purportedly houses the spirits of both a former librarian's cat named Sheba and of a
Sheba?
former janitor or night staff worker who fell down the elevator shaft and who's been cited either tending maintenance tasks or replaying his terrifying final moments. While students on the 3rd floor of Borman Hall, which was finished in 1935, have described the sounds of someone
Ruh-roh.
moving around the 4th floor, which strangely doesn't actually exist. Lastly, Dadisman Hall, which was established in 1941, has acted as scene to a number of deaths, with students there reporting the shadowy figure of a man spotted near the entrance. And long ago, in the Woodburn Bell Tower, which dates back to the late 1800s,
I
students
need
would lead a
energy.
cow up to the top as a prank.
Energy
after which,
ammo.
with no means of rescuing the animal, it was eventually put down, leaving its ghost to linger. And on to number 4, which is none other than the infinitely haunting and infamous Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. The Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum, which is located in Weston, West Virginia, boasts
Weston,
a rich
West
and often brutal
Virginia.
history that contributes to the terrifying and nightmarish tales surrounding its grounds.
Uh-oh.
This asylum would first
should make
be
a TV show
authorized
about
by
these
the
spooky
Virginia
vids like a
General
Goosebumps
Assembly
way.
in the early
That's a lot of money.
1850s and would be built by the renowned architect Richard Snowden Andrews, according to the infamous
Snowden?
Kirkbride plan.
Like
in
Undertale?
1858, construction would begin on the site with the use of prison labor. However, due to the outbreak of the Civil War, building
That was
would
my
be
own
put
fault.
on hold for a time. In 1862, the reformed government would approve funds to be used to resume construction of the hospital. The very next year, in 1863, with West Virginia becoming an official state, the asylum would be renamed the West Virginia Hospital for the Insane. And notably,
Thanks,
the
medic.
site's first patients would be admitted the
Thank you,
following year.
medic.
Construction on the asylum would continue for nearly 2 decades until 1881. At the turn of the 20th century, in 1902, a gas well was drilled into hospital grounds. In 1913, the site would reestablish itself as the Weston State Hospital, and from the 1930s up through the 1950s, its patient populace would steadily increase.
Big
and from
damage.
the 1930s up through the 1950s, its patient populace would steadily
Come on.
increase, resulting in understaffing, overcrowding, and downright negligent conditions, and in what was deemed insufficient furniture, lighting, and
There you
poor
go.
heating. Sadly, this lack of adequate care
Roar!
would result in a countless number of patient deaths, and disturbingly,
I was
an
gonna say
accurate tally
ruh-roh,
of casualties
but that
is
didn't go
still not available.
Dude,
to
that's a
this day,
6
though recent
sombrero,
efforts
look!
are underway in order to provide the deceased the justice they deserved. Through the 1950s,
Thank you, medic.
Weston State would participate in the lobotomy project for no other reason
The
than
what
to
project?
thin out patient numbers. Through the 80s, it was discovered that patients who were deemed unmanageable were literally being kept in cages. And
All right,
fittingly,
two
in
more.
1986, Then Governor Arch Moore would
Zonk
announce
scoop.
plans to transform the site from a hospital into a prison. However, these plans were
However.
ultimately canned when they were deemed unconstitutional by the state. Eventually, a new hospital for the mentally ill was constructed, and the old Weston State Hospital would close its doors in May of 1994 following the filing of a class action supported
That's
by
so
the families
sick.
of
Look
its
at this.
former patients. Through the rest of the 90s, the site would host a number of events. In 1999,
I love the
entirety
Becker's
of the
bazooka. It's so
expanse was
fun
heavily
in
damaged
MvM.
by off-duty city, county, and state police through a game of paint.
All right. Let's see. Let's look at the current time. Dang, that took less time. Dude, I could probably speed run a whole other tour of duty, but I have no tickets.
Paintball. And in the year 2000, the nonprofit Weston Hospital Revitalization
friends.
Committee was formed and would set to work on preservation efforts.
fish.
More recently,
great.
through August of 2007, this weathered old asylum was put up for auction, at which one Joe Jordan was the highest
Joe
bidder.
Jordan?
And since his purchase, Jordan is set to work on a series of renovations, enabling the former hospital to act as a venue to various high-profile events, while offering tours of both the historic and paranormal varieties. And
Smack.
rightfully so, as Trans-Allegheny is widely recognized as one of, if not the most haunted asylum in the whole of the U.S. Incidentally,
That's crazy.
both staff and guests to its bounds have reported instances of objects or wheelchairs moving around as if they had minds of their own, of banging and scratching noises that emanate from within the walls, and of encounters with both shadowy figures and the full-bodied apparitions of doctors and patients, some that have
That's
been
still
known
crazy.
to act erratically or even malevolently. One more famous story tells of the ghost of a little girl named Lily, who it's believed was the child of a woman named Gladys, who was assaulted by
Gladys.
soldiers through the Civil War, and who passed during childbirth. It's said that Lily was adopted by one of the institution's nurses, but would end up dying at 9 years of age due to pneumonia. And in more recent times, visitors have made a habit of taking small toys or candy to Lily's room, where her spirit is believed to linger, and has even been known to make said offerings move or disappear entirely. The spirit of a woman named Ruth, who it's believed hated men, has been encountered across the first floor.
Hold on.
Ghostly Civil War soldiers have been spied wandering about. The specter of a nurse named Elizabeth has been observed seemingly treating patients that are no longer there. And 3 associated entities, being those of Big Jim and David Mason, and of someone named Dean, who was murdered by the aforementioned
Dang, that's
by
a
way of having his
fast
head
healing.
placed under the bedpost of a bed that was jumped on, have all been cited.
Uh-oh.
Though whenever his murderers
Oh,
manifest,
poor Heavy.
Dean always seems to promptly disappear. Lastly, the phantom of a man named James, who it's believed died of a heart attack in one of the upstairs bathrooms, has been known to appear in a panicked state, while a good bulk of the upper floors are supposedly
Thank you,
stalked
medic.
by the institution's most terrifying spirit, Slewfoot, who it's claimed in life tortured and
Slewfoot?
killed other patients, and whose ghost has been known to manically chase any who cross its path. Last but
missing
not
20
least,
nice.
we're exploring one of the most iconic prisons in the world, being the Old West Virginia Penitentiary. Located in Moundsville, West Virginia, the West Virginia Penitentiary was the first penal institution established
Who's
in the
left?
state, whose castle-like walls have housed thousands of inmates throughout the years, and whose violent history lends itself to the hair-raising legends and spine-chilling ghost stories surrounding one of the most haunted prisons in
Instantly
America.
sniped.
Historically, in
Dang, I should've hit
1863,
in the
as West
corner. Oh,
Virginia
well.
seceded from Virginia at the height of the Civil War,
Thank you,
this
medic.
new state was in a desperate shortage of adequate prison facilities, and Governor Arthur I. Borman would lobby state legislature for nearly 3 years, until on February 7th of 1866, 10 acres of land just outside of the city of Moundsville was approved by the state for use as a penitentiary. Initially, a temporary wooden prison was built on site while officials would assess what type of design would be best suited for the property, and they would eventually decide on a modified
Dude,
version of the infamous
let
Northern
me
Illinois
on!
Penitentiary in Joliet, Illinois. With its Gothic revival architecture, including turrets and battlements, it would go on to be described as a place that exhibited great strength and conveyed to the mind a
Oh, he didn't
cheerless
wanna let
blank,
me
indicative
on.
of the misery which
He didn't
awaits
wanna let
the
me
unhappy being
on.
who enters within its walls. After 10 years of planning and construction, the penitentiary would officially open in 1876.
I have
It
an
would
idea for the
include a
next
4-story
round.
administration tower that
Can I
connected the
refund right
two
now?
cell blocks that
I
included
cannot refund
space
right
for
now.
female inmates, a kitchen, a dining area, a hospital, a chapel,
God,
and
this one's-
personal living
Butt
quarters for the
Bash is so
warden and his
easy.
family, alongside the 251
I wish everything
inmates
was like
imprisoned
Butt
in the
Bash.
main
Look at that.
blocks, many of whom
I've
had
only
helped
taken
to
10
build the
minutes
prison
since
itself while
since I said
incarcerated,
60
and who would begin
minutes.
working through
If
the
that
second
makes
phase
sense.
of construction. Around the turn of the century, the West Virginia Penitentiary was generally considered to be in good condition in 1900 and would add both a school and a library to educate and reform prisoners. While in 1921, the opening of a nearby prison coal mine would provide jobs for inmates and answer the facility's energy needs, eventually leading to the prison running itself nearly self-sufficiently. Oh, and as an interesting tidbit, labor activist Eugene V. Debs was an inmate at the prison for a short time in 1919 for violating the Espionage Act. The site's thriving
Espionage
conditions
Act.
would not last for long, however,
What's
mainly
that?
due to overcrowding, with instances of violence becoming much more of a commonplace, which in turn would lead to the creation of rooms like the Sugar Shack, where inmates could fight and gamble, and also to a
Gamble?
slew of
That's what I'm
brutal
doing!
murders, of which, and possibly most famously,
Money.
was that of one R.D. Wall, who was literally butchered by 3 other inmates for allegedly snitching. This particularly rough path ultimately, and not undeservedly, earned the institution a spot on a top 10 most violent facilities
Well, that
list.
was easy.
Despite doubling the size of the facility by 1959, violent acts still ran rampant throughout the prison, which was becoming increasingly understaffed, and the political climate within would result in a massive jailbreak 2 decades later on November 7th of 1979, in which 15 inmates, including Ronald Turney Williams, who would lead authorities on an
Easy.
18-month
Last one.
manhunt, would
Last
escape
one.
the
All right, this
walls
is
of
the last
West
one,
Virginia
chat. Get ready.
Prison.
This is where I get my
Barely
golden
6
frying
years
pan.
later, on January 1st of 1986, the largest and most famous riot in the history of the facility would occur over what inmates believed to be cruel and unusual living conditions, which later that year would result in the Supreme Court ordering the prison permanently shut down. Despite this ruling, the site wouldn't actually close its gates for another 9 years, and when it finally did shut down, it would do so with a total of 36 homicides over its lifespan. In the present, the pen's grounds have been utilized as a training facility for law enforcement and corrections training drills, and its bounds are actually open for tours, some of
This
which
is where I
include ghost
win.
tours designed for any feeling brave enough to get booked. Now guys, of course we can't truly delve into the depths of discussing the ghosts of West Virginia Penitentiary without first discussing one of its darker aspects, its executions, which add an even deeper and more macabre layer to this weathered lockup. With hanging serving as the primary method of death.
This is how I win. Look at my airstrike. Isn't it so cool?
A total of
wow.
85 of the 94
it's
men
like a missile.
executed on site died in this very manner. And these lynchings were made open to the public until June 19th of 1931, when convicted murderer Frank Heyer would be gruesomely decapitated by his noose. And if you think you didn't catch
15% minus damage penalty, that's crazy.
First read it. Decades later, and 8 years before the final execution at the prison, in 1951, electrocution would replace hanging, and a chair known grimly as Old Sparky, which was actually built by inmate Paul Glenn, would claim the lives of at least 9 inmates on death row, with its final execution being the execution of Elmer Bruner, landing on April 3rd of 1959. Over its lengthy existence, West Virginia Pen has been associated to a range of terrifying paranormal activity and tales of the inexplicable, and those braving its bounds have reported the sounds of chains heard from somewhere out of sight, instances of cell doors opening and closing on their own, and accounts of an unseen force pushing, hitting, or even scratching the unsuspecting. Easily one of the most haunted areas in this aged lockup is the basement, which is known for 2 separate legends. The first surrounds the aforementioned Sugar Shack. Initially designed as a winter recreation area, the Sugar Shack played witness to untold amounts of violence over its existence, and those who have entered it have reported the sounds of a fight always heard from somewhere just out of sight, the constant feeling of being unwelcomed, and instances of personal electronics going haywire. Several informal investigations have levels, chilling EVPs, and hits on thermal grids, and others have described horrifying encounters with ominous, shadowy figures that have been known to chase any who get too close. Our second basement haunting regards a specter known as the Snitch.
Dude!
As his story goes, long ago, a maintenance man who lived in the basement made a habit of reporting all of the prisoners' wrongdoings to the warden or guards. Eventually, the prisoners grew wise to his ways, and when he was least expecting it, jumped and brutally shanked him to death with homemade knives. The spirit of the Snitch has been cited always just leaving the sight range of witnesses,
Is that a
and
spy?
has been described as being covered in grievous bloody injuries across his body and face. Reported over the whole of prison grounds and confined to no area in particular are objects sighted moving around by themselves, disembodied voices heard calling names or hollering around cell blocks, and
what a great teleporter spot. I gotta learn where to put that.
And it's even resulted in several having to leave the property.
That's all I could afford.
Another popular prison tale surrounds one Arvel Paul Adkins. As this story goes, Arvel was up for death, but his hanging was botched, resulting in him falling through the gallows drop shaft, landing on his head, and sustaining serious injuries. After which, instead of treating said wounds, the guards simply carried him back up to the noose and performed the hanging correctly. Now,
that's messed up.
Injured manifestation has been known to appear near the gallows area, and those who have encountered him describe him as seemingly suffering a bad concussion, complete with seizures. A final legend tells of one inmate, Roberts, who faced death by warden. As several news articles of the day reported, inmates that misbehaved were tortured by way of ice-cold water and stocks, or by being tied to a kicking Jenny and beaten nearly to death. It's believed that inmate Roberts faced the latter punishment, and that following said discipline, he was dropped off in his cell where he was later found deceased. The spirit of Roberts has been sighted throughout the whole of the cell blocks, and has been blamed for disembodied footsteps, for personal effects that go missing, and for loud shrieks.
What a cool weapon.
With its dark history and terrifying slew of purported supernatural activity, the old West Virginia Pen is a foreboding realm that pulls visitors into a world where violence of the past is palpable, and where tortured spirits linger, serving time beyond their mortal lives. Thanks for joining me in exploring some of the most haunted places in West
like
Virginia.
this!
If you enjoyed hearing my histories and ghost stories, don't forget to subscribe to my channel.
Not like
throw this up with a like,
this!
and share me with any.
Alright. It's time. Time to get my golden frying pan! You cause more damage as soldier than that. Dang! 28,000. That's a lot of damage. Alright? Alright? Here we go. Moment of truth. Ooh, I like fish completed a tour, but nothing. My turn, my turn, my turn? Oh no, I'm second to last. Alright, good job, Dapper. It's my turn? Let's go. Let's go for 4 crates. Bruh. Bruh, the big kill? That's useless. That's a... That is lit. I'm gone. I'm gone. Dude, the big kill streak kit is the most useless kill streak kit ever. This weapon on its own costs like $30. What the heck even is the big kill? It's just a reskin for what's it called? It's just a revolver reskin for spy. Oh, what a waste. Oh man. Well, at least I did that really fast though. I mean, look. 79 minutes for 2 tours. Dang! 79 minutes for 2 tours is not that bad. On average, 40 for 2. Dang, that's pretty good. It's better than an hour. I'll take it. Oh, I gotta go. I actually have to go trash this because it actually sucks. Did you win? No. I got an awful weapon. Dude, it's not even worth 3 cents. Okay, it is worth 3 cents actually. Okay, it's worth 1 cent. I could probably sell it for 1 cent. I did it. I got 1 cent. Yeah! Dude. That's so sad. Well. You can't win them all. You really can't win them all, chat. Oh, that's so pain. That's so sad, dude. Like, what the? That's messed up. That's evil. Can I even get an iron curtain? What's the iron curtain? That's a heavy minigun, but like, is it even available? I don't even know if I could even equip that. Oh man, dude, what a waste. Hey, the bat though. I'll get this. There you go. Anything else I gotta apply stuff towards? Iron Bomber. Bam, 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 bam. Dang, I ran out of a lot of things. Robot emotion detector, robot emotion, battle worn. Oh, that's so sad. That is honestly really, 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 really sad. I'm sad. That hurts, man. That hurts. Man. How much does it I kind of want to do more. I really want to do more MvM. I'll wait. Maybe I'll do one on my own. See how that goes. Maybe it's just the streamer luck. I don't know. That's so sad though. Why? Hey, at least I got the battery bandolier. Did you play the Connecticut scary video? I wasn't listening. Yeah. I did. Why? You missed it. Why? Should have been here. Man. Well, at least I'm at 95 now, so that's cool. But dang, dude. I'll try some other time. I gotta. Have I not done one of those? Steel trap. Dang, I guess I haven't done this one. Gear grinder. Oh, man. Oh, well. That's life, chat. Alright, you know what? That's okay. I'm gonna get tickets. I'll be back another day. Maybe tomorrow. You know what? Yeah, maybe tomorrow. For some more gambling. Oh, that's so sad. I didn't even get a good kill streak kit, dude. But it's good bite time. I'll go get more tickets for tomorrow. That leaves me with how many more tickets to get? 20. I just need to get 20 more and I'll be set. I'll be back tomorrow for more gambling. Today and tomorrow I'll actually try to speedrun it. I'll like set a timer and everything. This time I kind of messed up because my stream crashed, but like maybe tomorrow I'll set it up with when I get more tickets. Cause that's so sad, dude. That's so messed up. But alrighty, chat. Good stream. Good fun. I'm gonna go find more tickets. Maybe I'll trade some. Maybe I could afford some. Who knows? I'm not sure. But it's time to say good bites. I'm out of here for now, chat. Good stream. Good fun. Oh, that's so sad. Not even a good kill streak kit, dude.
Reach for my hand. I'll soar
Damn,
away
Three Houses
into
is
the dawn.
5
Oh,
years old.
I wish I could stay. Here in cherished halls,
Dude,
in peaceful days, I fear the edge of dawn, knowing time betrays.
That's so sad. Not even. What a waste. Like, actual waste, man. That's so sad. The kill streak kit. GG. I'm gone. For now.